The platinum wedding band catches the fluorescent light as it rolls across the laminate table, disappearing into the folds of a crumpled napkin. Jenna Morales picks up the cloth carefully, feeling the weight of metal hidden inside. On the receipt beside it, a corporate credit card and a name, Michael Chen, but on the tip line, a brutal 0. In the sterile quiet of Rosie's diner at 3:47 a.m., she holds a stranger's promise in her palm. The engraving reads, "Forever, Sarah." She's seen this man 5 nights in a row now, always alone at table 7, spinning this ring absently while untouched coffee goes cold. Tonight, his finger was too thin to hold it anymore. 18 months ago, Michael Chen's wife died suddenly, leaving him with 2 young children in a glass mansion that feels more like a mausoleum. His twins, Emma, 7, and Lucas, 9, have stopped speaking entirely, communicating only through increasingly dark crayon drawings. 7 nannies have quit in as many months. Michael watches his children disappear behind a barricade of furniture in silence while he runs a tech empire from a home office where he now sleeps, unable to face the bedroom he once shared. But Jenna recognizes something in his hollow eyes. 2 years ago, she was him, a mother shattered by loss, abandoning everything she'd built to simply survive. She was an art therapist once, before her 5-year-old daughter's death made helping others feel impossible. When she returns the ring at dawn, she finds children who've forgotten how to be children, and a father who's forgotten how to be present. She doesn't offer therapy or advice. Instead, she sits outside their locked playroom door and slides a drawing underneath, just a simple sketch of a tired waitress holding a wedding ring. A small hand slides a paper back, a heart. Behind bars, drawn in purple crayon. Have you ever watched someone you love disappear while standing right in front of you? Have you wondered if broken things can ever be made whole again? Or if they can become something different, something unexpected, something more beautiful for having shattered? Stay with us to witness how a forgotten ring, a wordless conversation, and the courage to remain present can transform a house of glass and silence into a home where golden cracks shine like starlight. The fluorescent lights of Rosie's diner hum their 3 a.m. song, a frequency only insomniacs and the desperate ever hear. Jenna Morales moves between empty tables with a coffee pot in one hand and the weight of 2 years' grief in the other. She's learned to carry both. Table 7 isn't empty. Michael Chen sits in the corner booth, same as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tonight makes 5. He's the only customer in the whole diner, and he hasn't touched his food. Again. Jenna approaches with the pot. Warm up? He doesn't look up from the papers spread before him. Acquisition documents she can see, full of numbers that probably mean something to someone. His fingers spin something metal in slow circles. A wedding ring. She notices these things now, the small ways people hold on to what's gone. Sir? She tips the pot toward his cup. Nothing. Not even a flicker of acknowledgement. His eyes are hollow, carved out from the inside. She's seen that look before, in her own mirror, for months after Lily died. It's the look of someone going through the motions of being alive, while everything that matters has already stopped. His phone sits face up on the table. The background shows 2 children, maybe 7 and 9, flanking a beautiful woman with kind eyes. They're all laughing, frozen mid-joy in a moment that no longer exists. Jenna pours the coffee anyway. He doesn't notice. She returns to the counter, wiping down surfaces that are already clean. It's what you do at 3 a.m. when the alternative is thinking. Through the window, the city sleeps, or pretends to. The neon "Open 24 hours" sign flickers, Morse code for the broken. At 3:47, Michael suddenly stands. He leaves cash on the table, exact change for the meal, and walks out mid-sentence in whatever document he was signing. The door chimes. His coffee sits full and cold. Jenna waits 30 seconds, then approaches table 7. The bills are crisp, corporate. She picks up the receipt to file it. Michael Chen, it says. Corporate American Express, and on the tip line, a 0. She shouldn't be surprised. Ghosts don't tip. But when she lifts the napkin to clear the table, something heavy rolls against her palm. The platinum wedding band catches the fluorescent light, throwing fractured rainbows across the laminate. She turns it slowly. Inside, an engraving. Forever, Sarah. The name of someone who's gone. Jenna holds the ring in her closed fist, feeling its weight. She knows exactly what it costs to keep wearing a promise after the person you made it to has disappeared. She wore her own wedding ring for 6 months after the divorce, after Lily died, after everything fell apart. Wore it like armor. Like if she held on tight enough, she could stop the world from taking anything else. The credit card receipt lists a corporate address in the hills, Chen Technologies. She knows the building, the assassin steel, the kind of place where people make decisions that change the world while their own worlds collapse. She should mail it. That's the sensible thing. Put it in an envelope, send it back, let this man's forgetting stay forgotten. But something about those hollow eyes stops her. Something about the way he spun that ring like a prayer wheel, around and around, trying to find an answer that doesn't exist. It's 4:05 a.m. Jenna's shift ends at 6. She slips the ring into her apron pocket where it sits heavy against her hip and starts brewing a fresh pot of coffee she doesn't want. The hum of fluorescent lights continues its lonely song. Outside, dawn is still hours away, but she'll go anyway. Return what was lost. That's all. Nothing more. She tells herself this is true. The drive takes 40 minutes through streets that transition from tired to wealthy, from neon to silent. Jenna's 10-year-old Honda climbs into hills where houses become estates and gates become statements. The ring sits in her passenger seat, no longer in her pocket. She can't stop looking at it. Forever, Sarah. She should have mailed it. The address leads to a structure that barely qualifies as a house. It's all glass and angles, a modernist monument that looks like it belongs in an architecture magazine, not a neighborhood. Through floor-to-ceiling windows, she can see inside. Minimalist furniture, white walls, everything clean and empty and perfect. A museum where a family forgot to live. It's 5:30 a.m. The sun hasn't risen yet, but the sky is that particular shade of gray that promises it will. She parks on the street, engine ticking as it cools. This is stupid. She should come back at a reasonable hour, leave it with a note. Why is she even here? Because those hollow eyes looked like hers did. Because she remembers. Before she can decide to leave, movement catches her attention. The front door bursts open and a woman storms out, 60-something, gray hair askew, carrying a designer purse like a weapon. She's muttering, loud enough that Jenna can hear through the closed car window. Absolutely feral, impossible situation, 18 months of this. The woman, a nanny, Jenna realizes from the uniform, practically runs to a sedan parked in the circular driveway. She doesn't look back as she speeds away, gravel crunching under tires. Jenna sits frozen. Through the windows, she can see Michael Chen now, standing motionless in what appears to be a home office. He's not working, not moving, just standing, staring at nothing. The same hollow-eyed ghost from table 7, displaced into a glass box. The ring feels heavier. She gets out of the car. Her waitress uniform, coffee-stained, smelling like grease and exhaustion, feels wrong against this pristine setting. But she walks to the door anyway, rings the bell, waits, nothing. She rings again and again. Through the glass, she watches Michael's head turn slowly, as if sound reaches him through water. He moves toward the door with the mechanical precision of someone on autopilot. When he opens it, he's still wearing yesterday's suit, now thoroughly wrinkled. His shirt is untucked, his face is unshaven. He looks at her without recognition, without any emotion at all. "You left this," Jenna says, extending the ring. "At the diner." He stares at it, not at her, at the ring. His face does something complicated, like he's seeing a ghost made solid. Then his expression smooths into nothing again. "Do you want a reward?" His voice is flat, corporate, transactional. "No, I just..." A crash from upstairs cuts her off, breaking glass, then a child's scream, frustrated, wordless, primal, the sound of something else shattering. Michael's face doesn't change. That's the worst part. His children are destroying something upstairs and his face remains absolutely blank, defeated. "That's every morning now," he says hollowly. He takes the ring, turns it over in his palm like he's forgotten what it's for. "I should call another agency." "How many have you called?" Jenna asks before she can stop herself. "That was number 7. He looks past her, through her. They all leave. Another crash. A voice, older child, male, shouts, "Go away!" The raw pain in it makes Jenna's chest tight. "Your children. I don't know what to do anymore." The words come out automatic, rehearsed from repetition. Then he seems to remember she's a stranger, standing on his doorstep at dawn. "Thank you for returning this." He starts to close the door. Jenna's hand moves before her brain catches up, pushing against it. "What are their names?" "What?" "Your children. What are their names?" Michael blinks, as if no one has asked him a direct question about his children in a very long time. "Emma and Lucas. But they haven't." Another crash, closer this time, more violent, the sound of furniture being shoved. Jenna steps inside. Jenna's feet move before her brain fully processes the decision, up the stairs, following the sound of breaking things and breaking children. Michael trails behind, saying something about boundaries and strangers, but his voice is weak, already defeated. The second floor is as pristine as the first. White walls, tasteful art, nothing personal, except for one door at the end of the hall where chaos leaks out like water from a cracked dam. The playroom door is barricaded. She can see furniture stacked against it from the inside. A bookshelf, chairs, the shadow of a small table. The wood is gouged with scratches, like someone tried to claw their way out, or in. "Emma! Lucas!" Michael's voice is automatic, corporate, like he's calling a meeting to order. "Please open the door. We have a guest." Silence, then a crash, glass shattering against something hard. "That's every morning," Michael says again, as if repetition makes it make sense. He stands in the middle of the hallway, arms hanging at his sides. "The therapists say to give them space. The nannies say to force entry. I can't." He stops. Starts over. They used to talk, laugh. Emma would sing to her stuffed animals. Lucas played soccer. Now they just... He gestures at the door. "This." Jenna steps closer. The walls visible through the cracked door are covered in drawings, not the cheerful scribbles of children, but something darker. Black spirals, caged hearts, a woman's face crossed out so many times the paper's worn through. In one corner, written in what looks like red crayon but might be something else, "Make it stop." "How long since they came out?" Jenna asks. 2 days, not since the last nanny left. They have their own bathroom inside. I leave food by the door, but they barely... His phone buzzes. He glances at it, then silences it, without looking at who's calling. A small victory, though he doesn't seem to notice. Jenna kneels by the door. Scattered outside are broken crayons, purple, blue, black. She picks one up, still warm from small hands. "Do you have paper?" she asks. "Drawing supplies?" Michael blinks. "What?" "Paper, markers, crayons that aren't broken. Bring me some." "I don't think..." "Please." Something in her tone makes him move. He disappears down the hall, returns with a leather portfolio that looks like it cost more than her car. Inside, pristine white paper, expensive markers, colored pencils still in their packaging. Jenna takes the paper and a marker. She sits with her back against the barricaded door, legs stretched out in front of her. Michael watches from the hallway, confused. "What are you doing?" She doesn't answer. Instead, she draws simple lines, a circle for the moon, a rough sketch of a tired woman holding a coffee pot, a wedding ring. She slides the paper under the door. 15 seconds, 30, a minute. Michael shifts his weight. This isn't going to... Movement on the other side, a shadow crossing the crack of light. Small fingers appear, pulling the paper through. Silence. Jenna waits. 2 minutes, 3. Then a paper slides back out. Jenna picks it up carefully, like it might dissolve in her hands. The drawing is crude but devastatingly clear. A heart rendered in purple crayon, and around it, bars, a cage. Behind her, Michael makes a sound, half gasp, half sob. They drew something. They responded. They... Go away, says a voice from inside. Young, male, raw with disuse and rage. Lucas, you always go away. Just do it now. Michael's face crumbles. For a moment, Jenna sees past the corporate shell to the father underneath, drowning. Okay, she says, loud enough for the children to hear. I'm staying right here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to keep drawing. She picks up another marker and begins a new picture. Michael stands frozen in the hallway, watching a stranger do what he cannot. Stay, The drawing conversation develops its own grammar. Jenna draws a key. Emma, she knows it's Emma because the purple crayon returns, slides back a picture of the key broken in half. Jenna draws the broken pieces becoming a butterfly. Lucas sends back a question mark. They're talking, not with words, but with something more honest. Jenna remembers this from before Lily, before everything stopped making sense. Children who couldn't speak their trauma could draw it, could show you their pain in crayon and marker when words felt too dangerous. Michael watches from his position against the opposite wall. He's been there for 40 minutes, silently observing. His phone has buzzed 17 times. He's ignored it every time. "Why does this work?" he finally asks. "Why are they talking to you?" Jenna doesn't look up from her drawing, a simple tree with deep roots. "I'm not asking them to be okay, I'm just showing them I see them." She slides the paper under. "And I'm not leaving." Everyone leaves. Lucas's voice comes through the door, bitter. The nannies, Dad, Mom. The last word cracks. "Your mom didn't choose to leave," Jenna says gently. "Sometimes people don't get a choice." "Dad did." The accusation hangs in the air. Michael's face goes white. "Lucas, I'm here. I'm right outside. I've been here." "You're a ghost," Lucas says. "You look at us through cameras, through doorways, like we're on TV." The truth of it hits Michael like physical force. Jenna sees him register it, the way he's been observing his children's pain from safe distances, through screens and glass, never close enough to be hurt by it. "I have to go to my shift," Jenna says, checking her phone. "It's 10:30 a.m. But I'll come back tonight, after work." "Why?" Emma's voice, barely a whisper. The first time she's spoken. "Because I want to." "Everyone always leaves when they want to," Emma says. "Then I guess I don't want to." Jenna stands, knees creaking. She looks at Michael. "I'll be back at 11. Keep the paper outside the door. Let them draw if they want to." "You don't have to." "I know." She leaves Michael in the hallway, surrounded by children's drawings and his own inadequacy. 11 p.m. Jenna returns still wearing her waitress uniform, smelling like coffee and grease. She finds Michael in his home office, visible through the glass walls. He's on his treadmill, conference call playing through earbuds, running like he's trying to escape his own body. She doesn't knock. She goes straight to the playroom door. The children's response is immediate. Papers slide out before she even sits down. They've been drawing, filling the hours with images. She looks at each one. A house made of glass that's cracking. 2 small figures holding hands while a larger figure watches from far away. A bird in a cage that's forgotten how to fly. Jenna draws a cage with the door open, draws a bird standing at the threshold, looking out. More papers come faster now, a dialogue accelerating. Emma draws herself and Lucas as puzzle pieces that don't fit anywhere. Jenna draws them as puzzle pieces that fit each other. Lucas draws a question. What happens to broken things? Jenna draws broken dishes pieced back together with gold seams shining. In his office, Michael has stopped running. He's standing at his desk, staring at the security monitor that shows the hallway. Shows this stranger sitting outside his children's barricade, speaking to them in a language he doesn't understand. He watches as, at 11:47 p.m., the playroom door cracks open. 2 inches. No more. Emma's face appears in the gap, dark eyes exactly like Michael's, but full of something he lost, hope warring with fear. She studies Jenna for a long moment. Then the door slams shut. But it opened. For the first time in 3 weeks, it opened. Michael mutes his conference call. His colleagues' voices continue in his ears, discussing quarterly projections and market share. But all he can see is that 2-inch gap. His children open the door for a stranger who stayed. Michael finds her at 6:00 a.m., still in yesterday's waitress uniform, asleep against the playroom door, purple crayon clutched in one hand like a talisman. Drawings scattered around her like fallen leaves, dozens of them, the paper conversation that lasted through the night. He should be alarmed. A stranger sleeping in his house. His corporate attorneys would have a field day. Richard would cite liability concerns, boundary violations, every rational reason this is wrong. But Michael can't remember the last time anything felt this close to right. He starts to wake her, then stops. Through the crack beneath the door, he sees movement, small shadows shifting. The children are awake, watching. The door opens. Not all the way. Just enough. Emma appears first. Dark hair tangled from sleep, wearing pajamas that are too small. Has he even bought them new clothes since Sarah died? She studies Jenna with the careful intensity of someone who's learned that adults disappear if you need them too much. Lucas peers over his sister's shoulder, protective. Always protective. 9 years old and already carrying the weight of being the parent when actual parents fail. Emma reaches out one small hand, touches Jenna's fingers where they rest against the carpet. Jenna's eyes open without startling, as if she's accustomed to being woken by tentative children. She smiles. Nothing forced, nothing performative, just present. "Good morning," she says quietly. Emma doesn't speak, but she doesn't retreat either. Instead, she takes Jenna's hand and pulls gently. An invitation. Lucas hesitates, then follows. Michael trails behind as his children lead this stranger downstairs. He's in his own house and feels like the outsider, watching through glass even though no barriers exist. The kitchen is pristine, professionally designed, and completely unused. The refrigerator holds rows of untouched prepared meals from a catering service, Michael's solution to the problem of feeding his children without having to engage with them. Jenna opens cabinets until she finds a mixing bowl. She looks at the children, pantomimes cracking eggs. Emma nods. What follows shouldn't be remarkable. Scrambled eggs, basic, simple. But Jenna lets the children help, doesn't flinch when Emma drops shell fragments into the bowl, doesn't correct Lucas's aggressive whisking that sends droplets across the counter. She's deliberately messy, making chaos feel safe. They eat at the kitchen island, another pristine surface that's never been used. The children actually eat. Not the mechanical 3 bites before pushing food away, but real eating. Emma takes seconds. Michael stands in the doorway, wedding ring now back on his too thin finger, watching his children exist in the world, watching them be children. "I don't even know your name," he says finally. Jenna looks up, egg still on her fork. "Jenna Morales? Why are you doing this?" The question hangs between them. Emma and Lucas watch their father with guarded expressions, waiting to see if he'll ruin this fragile peace by demanding explanations, asserting control, making everything about him. "I was an art therapist," Jenna says carefully. "Before. My daughter Lily died from leukemia 2 years ago. I stopped being able to help anyone, including myself. Started working at the diner because I needed to be around people without having to be present." She sets down her fork, meets his eyes directly. "Your children drew pictures that looked like the ones Lily made, when she couldn't say how much it hurt. I recognized the language." Lucas's hand finds Emma's under the counter. They don't speak, but something passes between them, recognition that this stranger understands what their father cannot see. Michael realizes he's crying, standing in his own unused kitchen, watching a stranger feed his children scrambled eggs, crying for the first time since Sarah's funeral. "I don't know what arrangement we're making," he manages. "Neither do I," Jenna admits, "but maybe that's okay." Jenna comes back Wednesday night at 11, then Thursday. By Friday, it's no longer a question, just the shape their days take now. She's switched to morning shifts at the diner, arrives at Michael's house around noon, stays until the children sleep. No discussion of payment, no formal agreement, just presence. The ritual begins with repair hour. Jenna brings boxes from thrift stores, chipped plates, cracked teacups, damaged bowls that cost pennies. She spreads newspaper across the pristine backyard patio and hands the children safety goggles that make them look like tiny scientists. "Sometimes," she says, arranging the dishes, "we need to break things on purpose so we can decide what to make from the pieces." Lucas looks skeptical. Emma watches carefully. "Like this," Jenna says, and drops a plate onto concrete. The sound is shocking, liberating. The plate explodes into fragments, scattering across newspaper like porcelain snow. Lucas's eyes go wide, then he picks up a teacup and throws it, harder than necessary. The crash echoes off glass walls. Emma takes a bowl, hesitates, then drops it carefully, watching it break into neat sections. For 20 minutes, they destroy things together. Michael watches from his office window, calls forgotten, watching his children smile for the first time in 18 months, watching them laugh as porcelain shatters. Then comes the repair. Jenna produces gold paint, glue, patience. They sit together sorting fragments, fitting edges that no longer match perfectly. She shows them kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making the cracks part of the object's beauty rather than something to hide. Beautiful things can break, she explains, guiding Emma's hand as she applies gold paint to a seam, and they can become more beautiful for having been broken. She's not just talking about dishes. Everyone knows it. No one says it. Lucas arranges his pieces deliberately, fragments of 3 different plates forming a new mosaic pattern. Emma writes single words in gold paint on larger shards. Mom, gone, scared, angry. By evening, the patio holds their collection. Broken things made whole again, golden seams catching sunset light. Michael comes outside for the first time in months. Not to observe through glass, but to actually stand among them. Can I try? His voice sounds uncertain in his own ears. Emma wordlessly hands him a broken saucer and the gold paint. Her small fingers guide his larger ones, showing him how to fill the cracks, how to make something that broke more beautiful for the breaking. Patricia Yang arrives unannounced Monday evening, her monthly welfare check. She finds them in the backyard, Michael, Jenna, Emma, and Lucas, covered in gold paint and clay dust, laughing at a mosaic stepping stone they're embedding in the garden. Patricia's expression shifts from surprise to disapproval to something harder. Michael, a word, privately. Her tone makes it clear this isn't a request. In the sterile living room, Patricia stands with her designer purse clutched like armor. Who is that woman? Why is she so familiar with my grandchildren? And why does this house look like a daycare center exploded? Michael glances toward the windows. Outside, Jenna helps Emma place the stepping stone while Lucas uses a hose to clean their workspace. They're messy, chaotic, alive. Her name is Jenna. She's helping. Helping? Patricia's voice rises. Michael, I've documented 7 nannies in as many months. The children haven't attended school in weeks. And now you have some stranger playing art teacher while you... What? Watch? This is unacceptable. They're eating again, Michael says quietly. Sleeping. Emma spoke yesterday. Actually spoke. To her. To some waitress with no credentials who you've allowed into Sarah's home. Patricia's face crumples. My daughter built this family, and you're letting it fall apart. It was already broken, Patricia. Then I'm taking the children somewhere safe. She opens her purse, removes a business card. My attorney will be in touch. Monday morning, the boardroom feels like a different planet. Polished mahogany, leather chairs, the sterile hum of climate control. Michael sits at the head of the table, phone face down beside his untouched coffee, checking it every 90 seconds. Richard Morrison clears his throat for the 3rd time. Michael, the acquisition timeline. Right. Michael blinks, pulling his attention back. The timeline, which you were supposed to present 10 minutes ago. The other board members shift in their seats. Michael sees their discomfort, recognizes it should matter. A year ago, it would have consumed him. Now it feels distant, happening to someone else. I'll have it by end of day, he says. Richard's jaw tightens. After the meeting disperses, he stays behind, closing the door with deliberate care, the kind of care that precedes bad news. We need to talk about your focus. I'm handling it. You're not. Richard slides a folder across the table. Our competitors are circling. The acquisition is faltering because you've missed 3 critical calls. And there's this. Michael opens the folder. Photographs. Jenna's Honda parked outside his house at various times. Jenna and the children in the backyard covered in paint. A background check, thorough and clinical. Jenna Marie Morales, age 32, former licensed therapist, license surrendered voluntarily following daughter's death, current employment minimum wage service industry, history of severe depressive episode requiring hospitalization. The words blur together. Michael sees only the photographs. Emma laughing silently, Lucas's rare smile, Jenna's patient presence. This is inappropriate, Richard says, and potentially dangerous. An unstable woman with access to your vulnerable children while you're... He gestures vaguely. Whatever this is. She's helping them. She's a waitress with a tragic past and no credentials. Michael, I'm saying this as your friend. You're not thinking clearly. Your children need professional help, not some stranger playing therapist. Michael's phone buzzes. A text from home, Jenna's usual check-in, letting him know the children are eating lunch. Actual lunch, not the catered meals they used to ignore. I need to go, he says. You need to focus on saving this company. unless you want to lose everything you've built. Michael stands, leaving the folder on the table. Maybe I already did. Wednesday evening, Patricia Yang arrives unannounced. Her key still works, Sarah's key, which she's never returned. She finds chaos in her daughter's pristine house. The backyard has been transformed. Newspaper covers the patio, broken dishes arranged in patterns, 3 figures covered in gold paint and clay dust, laughing. Actual laughter, the kind Patricia hasn't heard from her grandchildren since Sarah died. Emma sees her first. The laughter stops. Grandma. Lucas steps in front of his sister, protective. Jenna stands, wiping her hands on her jeans. She's younger than Patricia expected, prettier, comfortable in a way that feels like trespassing. I'm Jenna Morales. You must be... Where's Michael? Patricia's voice could cut glass. His office. I can get him. That won't be necessary. Patricia's gaze sweeps the scene. The mess, the inappropriate familiarity, this stranger touching her grandchildren with paint-stained hands. Children, go inside and wash up, now. Emma and Lucas don't move. They look at Jenna, seeking permission. The intimacy of it, that they look to this woman instead of their grandmother, makes Patricia's chest tight. Now, she repeats. They go, reluctantly. Jenna starts gathering supplies, clearly preparing to leave them alone. But Patricia needs her to hear this. Michael, she calls toward the house. A word, privately. Inside Sarah's living room, furniture Sarah chose, curtains Sarah hung, everything exactly as Patricia's daughter left it. Michael appears looking disheveled and tired, always so tired now. Who is that woman? Patricia demands. And why is she so familiar with my grandchildren? Her name is Jenna. She's helping. Helping? Patricia's voice rises. Michael, I've documented everything. 7 nannies in 7 months. The children haven't attended school in weeks. And now you have some stranger, some waitress, playing house while you watch from your office? They're eating again, Michael says quietly. Sleeping. Emma spoke yesterday. To her, to some unqualified woman you've allowed into Sarah's home. Patricia's voice breaks. My daughter built this family, and you're letting it fall apart. It was already broken, Patricia. She opens her purse with shaking hands, removes a business card. Her attorney, the one she hoped she'd never need. Then I'm taking the children somewhere safe. My attorney will be in touch. Michael finds Jenna in the garage, packing art supplies into boxes with methodical precision. Her hands shake slightly. She heard everything. She's serious, Jenna says without looking up. About custody. I know. Then you need to... She stops because what can she say? Get your life together? Prove you're capable? The truth is, Patricia has a case. A good one. I can fix this, Michael says. And something in his tone makes Jenna's stomach drop. She recognizes it now, the corporate voice, the problem solver. I've been thinking about it all afternoon. A formal arrangement, official. Michael, $200,000 annually. Live-in position, proper contract, benefits. I'll have my attorneys draw up an NDA, liability protection. You'd have your own space, full access to the house, discretionary budget for the children's needs. The numbers keep coming. Jenna watches his mouth move, watches him reduce the past 2 weeks, the children's tentative trust, the wordless conversations, the fragile healing, into salary negotiations. You'd be their nanny, officially. Patricia couldn't argue with that, and you wouldn't have to work at the diner anymore. You could focus entirely on Emma and Lucas. He looks pleased with himself, proud of this solution, this transaction that solves everyone's problems through sufficient application of money. Jenna sets down the box she's holding. No. The salary is negotiable. If you want more, I don't want anything. Her voice is quiet, which makes it worse somehow. Because you still don't understand. Jenna, this is generous. Your children aren't a problem to be solved with money. She faces him fully. They're not a quarterly projection or an acquisition target. They're human beings who need someone to actually see them, be present with them without it being a transaction. I'm offering you a job. You're offering me a job, which means you're still hiding from them behind glass and contracts and solutions. She picks up her bag. I thought you were starting to understand, but you're just rearranging the barriers. I'm trying to keep them safe, to keep you here. You can't buy me staying. That's the whole point. Jenna moves toward the door, then stops. They don't need an employee. They need a father who's brave enough to be broken with them. She leaves. Michael stands in the garage surrounded by art supplies and his own inadequacy, hearing his corporate attorney's voices in his head about proper procedures and risk management and how this protects everyone. The children are watching from the upstairs window. He sees them through the glass, two small faces tracking Jenna's car as it disappears down the driveway. Friday morning, Emma and Lucas wait by the front window. They've been there since dawn, watching the empty driveway. Jenna always comes around 10. Always. Except today. By noon, Emma returns to her room. Michael watches through the doorway as she lies down facing the wall, exactly as she did for months before Jenna arrived, the careful progress unraveling in real time. Lucas goes to the backyard, to their mosaic pieces still arranged on newspaper. He picks up the stepping stone they made together, Emma's handprint and his pressed into clay, surrounded by gold-painted fragments. He throws it against the patio concrete, then the next one, and the next, smashing every piece they'd so carefully repaired, gold paint scattering like accusations. Michael runs outside. Lucas, stop! You made her leave. Lucas's face is red, tear-streaked, furious. Everyone always leaves and it's always your fault. He destroys the last mosaic, the biggest one, the one Jenna had praised, then storms inside, slamming his door so hard the glass walls shudder. Michael stands alone in the backyard, surrounded by broken things that will never be repaired. His phone buzzes. Richard, calling about the board meeting he's missing. He declines the call, then sits down among the shattered mosaics and finally understands what he's done. Saturday morning, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the days blur together in their sameness. Emma lies facing the wall in her bedroom, knees drawn to chest, making herself small. She hasn't eaten since Friday. Michael leaves trays outside her door, scrambled eggs the way Jenna made them, toast cut into triangles, juice in her favorite cup. The food sits untouched until it grows cold. Then he replaces it with the next meal she won't eat. Lucas has stopped destroying things. Worse, he's stopped everything. He sits in the backyard among the shattered mosaics, running his fingers over gold paint and broken porcelain, not crying, not raging, just sitting. Hours pass. Michael watches from the window, paralyzed by the realization that his children's silence feels like judgment. He tries. God, he tries. Monday afternoon, he calls a new therapist. Dr. Reeves comes highly recommended, specializes in childhood trauma, has a waiting list 6 months long. Michael pays triple her rate to get immediate access. She arrives with her leather notebook and kind smile, and the children won't even look at her. Emma, Lucas, Michael says from the doorway. Dr. Reeves is here to help. Emma turns her face further into the wall. Lucas walks out of the room. Dr. Reeves leaves after 20 minutes, telling Michael gently that the children aren't ready, that forcing therapy will only create more resistance, that perhaps family sessions might be more appropriate once everyone's had time to stabilize. Michael nods like he understands, but the word stabilize feels like mockery. Tuesday morning, he tries gifts. A complete art set for Emma, professional grade, hundreds of dollars worth of supplies. She doesn't open it. For Lucas, he orders a custom mosaic kit with real gold leaf, thinking maybe they could work on it together. Lucas sees the package and goes to his room, locking the door. That night, Michael stands outside Lucas's door. I know I messed up. I thought I was trying to fix things the only way I know how. But Jenna was right. You can't buy people staying. Silence. I'm here if you want to talk. Nothing. He slides down the wall, sits in the hallway like Jenna used to, but the door doesn't open. The children don't slide drawings underneath. He's just a man sitting alone outside a locked room, finally understanding what his absence cost them. Monday night bleeds into Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. Michael hasn't slept, hasn't eaten, hasn't showered in days. He looks worse than he did in those first months after Sarah died, gaunt, haunted, coming apart. He gets in his car. Rosie's diner glows like a beacon for the desperate. Table 7 is empty. Michael sits, puts his head in his hands. The fluorescent lights hum their judgment. Jenna appears with coffee, doesn't say anything, just pours. I don't want it, Michael says. I don't want anything. I didn't know where else to go. She sets the pot down. Waits. Emma won't eat. Lucas won't talk. They're disappearing again and it's my fault. His voice cracks. I tried to solve them like a business problem. Like I could just purchase the solution, pay you to care. But that's not how it works. No, it's not. Sarah was the one who knew how to reach them, who knew how to be present. I was always the one working late, missing dinners, prioritizing the next acquisition. And when she died, he stops, starts over. I was in a board meeting when she collapsed. Critical acquisition, couldn't be rescheduled. She called me twice. I sent her to voicemail. Jenna sits across from him. By the time I got to the hospital, she was gone. I never got to say goodbye, never got to tell her. His hands shake. And I've been running from that ever since. From the guilt. From my children, who look at me and see the father who wasn't there when it mattered. Slides the wedding ring across the table. The same ring that started everything. But different now. A symbol of what he's finally ready to release. This belongs to my past. You asked them to make beautiful broken things. I think I'm one of the broken things. Jenna looks at the ring, at Michael, at the man who's finally stopped hiding behind transactions. Then stop trying to buy your way out of being broken, she says quietly, and start showing up for them anyway. Tuesday afternoon, Jenna's Honda sits in the driveway again. Michael opens the door before she knocks, looks like he might cry from relief. They're worse, he says. Emma won't. I know. You told me. She steps inside, not as an employee, not as a solution he purchased, but as someone who cares. Where is she? Emma's room is dark, curtains drawn. The small figure under the blankets doesn't move when Jenna enters. Emma, it's Jenna. Nothing. Jenna sits on the edge of the bed, then lies down beside her, outside the blankets, not forcing, just present. I had a daughter, she says quietly. Her name was Lily. She died 2 years ago. Leukemia. She was 5. Emma's breathing changes slightly, listening. Lily collected smooth stones, little ones she'd find at the park, the beach. She'd line them up by her bed at night, count them before sleeping. After she died, I couldn't look at those stones, couldn't touch them, so I packed them away. Jenna's voice catches. I stopped talking about her because it hurt too much. But you know what hurt worse? Forgetting. Forgetting the way she laughed, this big, infectious sound that was too loud for such a small person. Forgetting how she was terrified of butterflies but loved every other bug. Forgetting that she made up songs about her stones, gave them names. A small hand emerges from the blankets, finds Jenna's. Your mom made pancakes shaped like animals, Lucas told me, and she smelled like jasmine. You told me that, remember? When you were brave enough to speak. Emma's fingers tighten. It's okay to remember her and be sad. It's okay to remember her and laugh. It's okay to keep living even though she can't. That doesn't mean you're forgetting. It means you loved her enough to carry her with you. They lie there in silence, hands connected. Finally, Emma whispers, I'm scared I'm forgetting her face. That's why we have photos. Why we tell stories. Why we make art and mosaics with golden cracks. Jenna squeezes her hand. You're not forgetting her, Emma. You're learning how to carry her differently. Evening. Lucas hasn't left the backyard all day. Michael finds him sitting among the destroyed mosaics, just like yesterday, the day before. But this time, when Michael approaches, Lucas doesn't leave. Can I sit? Lucas shrugs. Permission, barely. They sit in silence. 5 minutes. 10. Michael doesn't try to fix it, doesn't offer solutions, just sits with his son in the wreckage. Finally, Lucas speaks. His voice is hoarse, angry, broken. She sees us. You don't. 4 words. A knife to Michael's chest. You're right, Michael says. Lucas looks at him, surprised. I haven't been seeing you. I've been looking at you through windows and cameras and doorways, but I haven't been seeing you. Because seeing you means feeling how much I've failed you. How much I miss your mother. How terrified I am of losing you too. Lucas's eyes fill with tears. But Jenna showed me something. You don't have to be whole to be present. You can be broken and still show up. Michael's voice shakes. I'm broken, Lucas. I don't know how to be your father without your mother, but I want to learn. If you'll let me. Lucas throws himself at Michael, finally, desperately. They hold each other and cry in a backyard full of beautiful, broken things. Wednesday, something unprecedented happens. Michael cancels every meeting. Not reschedules, cancels. Richard calls 3 times. Michael declines every call. The 4 of them, Michael, Emma, Lucas, and Jenna, sit at the kitchen table with newspaper and thrift store dishes. Starting over. Emma's hands shake as she drops the first plate. It shatters. Lucas helps arrange the pieces. Michael tries to fit fragments together, his corporate precision useless here, and Emma gently guides his hands. They're working together when the doorbell rings. Patricia Yang stands on the doorstep. Behind her, a man in an expensive suit holding a briefcase. Michael, Patricia says, this is Thomas Klein, my attorney. We need to talk about the children's future. The world stops. Emma drops her piece of gold-painted porcelain. It breaks. Lucas moves in front of his sister, protective. Michael sees his children's fear, and something crystallizes inside him. The choice he's been avoiding, made simple by their terror. No, he says. Excuse me? We're not doing this. Not now, not like this. But Thomas Klein is already extending papers. Emergency custody hearing, 5 days. Everything they've been building, threatened by the very documentation of their breaking. The legal papers feel obscene in Michael's hands. Clean, clinical language describing his failures as a father. Patricia's attorney, Thomas Klein, stands in the doorway with practiced sympathy that doesn't reach his eyes. Emergency custody hearing Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., Klein says. Mrs. Yang has documented concerns about the children's welfare, 7 nannies in 8 months, extended school absence, and the presence of an unlicensed individual with a history of... Stop. Michael's voice is quiet but firm. Emma has gone pale, pressed against Jenna's side. Lucas stands frozen, gold paint still on his fingers from the mosaic they were making. Patricia steps forward. Michael, I'm doing this for Emma and Lucas. They need stability. Structure. Not... She gestures at the kitchen table, the newspaper, the broken dishes. This chaos. This is healing, Jenna says. You're not even qualified to make that determination. Patricia's voice shakes. You abandoned your own practice. You have no credentials, no right to be here. I have their trust. You have nothing. Patricia turns to the children. Emma, Lucas, Grandma is going to make sure you're taken care of properly. In a real home with routine and... No. Emma's voice is barely audible, but it stops everyone. I don't want to go. Patricia's face crumbles. Sweetheart, you don't understand. Your father can't... He's learning. Lucas moves beside his sister. We're all learning. You want us to stop being sad. Jenna helps us be sad and okay at the same time. That's not... Patricia looks to Michael, desperate. Tell them this is temporary, that we'll work something out. Michael looks at his children. Really looks at them, not through glass or distance or fear. They're terrified. Not of the broken dishes or the messy healing, but of losing this fragile thing they've built together. He thinks of his corporate attorneys, already drafting settlement offers, shared custody, visitation schedules, everything clean and manageable and wrong. No, Michael says. Klein frowns. Mr. Chen, I'd advise... I'm not interested in advice. Michael sets the papers down. Patricia, I understand you're grieving Sarah. We all are. But taking the children won't bring her back. This isn't about me. It's exactly about you. About control. About freezing everything in place because moving forward feels like betrayal. Michael's voice is steady. But Sarah wouldn't want this. She'd want them to laugh again, to make messes, to heal however healing looks. Patricia's eyes fill with tears. I can't lose them too. Then don't. Be part of their healing instead of fighting it. Michael looks at Jenna, at his children, at this strange chosen family that's formed in his sterile house. We're not perfect, we're not stable, but we're present. And I won't let you take that away. Klein clears his throat. The hearing is still scheduled. Mrs. Yang has substantial documentation. Then we'll fight it. Michael's decision crystallizes. All of us, together. That evening, after Patricia and her attorney leave, Michael gathers everyone in the living room. The space they've never used, formal and cold. Now it feels like a war room. Tuesday, he says. 5 days. They'll present evidence of my failures, the nannies, the school absence, Jenna's background. I should leave, Jenna says quietly. I'm making this worse for you. No. Emma grabs her hand. Lucas shakes his head. If you leave, we go back to before, to the barricade. Michael looks at Jenna. You asked me once what I was offering these children. I didn't have an answer then. I do now. He takes a breath. Family. Not the perfect one we lost, a different one, broken and healing and real. Are you sure? Jenna's voice wavers. This could cost you everything. I already lost everything. You helped me find something new. Michael looks at Emma and Lucas. If you want this, if you want us to fight to stay together, all of us, I need to know. Emma nods, tears streaming. Lucas says, we want our family, this one, the broken one that's ours. And that's what we'll fight for. Saturday morning, Michael does something unprecedented. He calls Richard and resigns as CEO, not temporarily, not pending the custody hearing, permanently. You're making a mistake, Richard says through the phone. The acquisition, the company, everything we've built, I'm not destroying it. I'm choosing something that matters more. Michael looks at Emma and Lucas eating breakfast, actual breakfast, messy and chaotic. I'll stay on as board chairman, part-time, but my children need more than my leftovers. Richard is silent. Then, I don't understand you anymore. I know I barely understand myself. Michael ends the call. His corporate attorneys recommend settling. Shared custody, they say. Maintain his career trajectory. Michael fires them all and hires Catherine Reeves, a family attorney who handles human problems, not business transactions. Catherine is frank when she arrives Saturday afternoon. Patricia has a strong case, documentation of instability, your work history, the nanny turnover, Jenna's surrendered license and mental health history. So we have no chance. I didn't say that. Catherine sets her briefcase down. We argue transformation, that the situation has stabilized, that the children are thriving now, that Jenna's presence is therapeutic despite lacking current credentials. Will it work? Depends on the children. Can they testify? Michael looks at Emma and Lucas. They're listening from the kitchen doorway. They're 7 and 9, Jenna says. That's a lot of pressure. I can do it, Lucas says, if it means we stay together. Emma nods, though her hands shake. Sunday, Michael does something he's avoided for 18 months. He sits with Emma and Lucas in Sarah's favorite room, the sunroom, filled with plants she tended, now half dead from neglect. Tell me about your mom, he says. The words feel impossible, but necessary. Lucas looks surprised. You never want to talk about her. I was afraid. Talking about her meant admitting she's really gone. But Jenna taught me something. Forgetting hurts worse than remembering. Emma's voice is small. She made pancakes shaped like animals. Every Sunday, Lucas adds, mine were always dinosaurs. Emma's were butterflies. She smelled like jasmine, Emma whispers. She did. Michael's voice breaks. She'd put it in her hair, said it reminded her of her grandmother's garden. They talk for hours. Small memories, mundane details that feel sacred now. Sarah's terrible singing voice, how she'd dance in the kitchen while cooking, her laugh, too loud, joyful, infectious. I was in a board meeting when she collapsed, Michael says finally. Critical acquisition. She called twice. I sent her to voicemail. He looks at his children. By the time I got to the Pato hospital, she was gone. I never got to say goodbye, never got to tell her. He stops, starts over. I've been punishing myself by disappearing, just like I disappeared when she needed me. But that means I disappeared from you too. Emma climbs into his lap, 7 years old and still so small. Mommy wouldn't want you gone too, she whispers. It's the first full sentence she's spoken in months, and it shatters something in Michael that needed breaking. They cry together, really cry for the first time since the funeral, holding each other in a room full of dying plants that they'll learn to save together. Monday evening, Catherine returns with preparation materials, sample questions, potential attacks from Patricia's attorney. Emma and Lucas sit at the dining table, listening with serious faces that shouldn't belong to children. They'll ask why you want to stay with your father, Catherine says gently. They'll ask about the nannies, the school absence. They might ask about Jenna and Lily. I can handle it, Lucas says. Emma just nods. But when Tuesday morning arrives, when they're all dressed and heading to the car, Emma throws up in the driveway, nerves and fear and the weight of having to save their family with words. Michael kneels beside her, holding back her hair. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. Emma wipes her mouth. Because someone has to tell them we're not broken wrong. We're broken right. In the car, heading to court, Michael reaches back and takes both children's hands. Whatever happens, I love you. Not because you're perfect or easy or what I expected, but because you're mine, and you're enough. They drive toward the courthouse where a judge will decide if love and presence are enough to outweigh documented failure. The family courtroom feels smaller than Michael expected. Wood paneling instead of marble, fluorescent lights instead of chandeliers. Nothing like the boardrooms where he used to decide million-dollar fates. Here, the stakes are everything that matters. Patricia sits across the aisle with Thomas Klein, her expression caught between grief and determination. She's worn Sarah's favorite scarf, jasmine-scented, Michael notices from 10 feet away, a reminder of what they've all lost. Judge Maria Santos reviews documents with reading glasses perched low on her nose, mid-50s, calm eyes that have seen too many families fracture. She looks up as Klein begins his closing argument. Your Honor, the evidence speaks clearly. Mr. Chen, despite his financial resources, has demonstrated profound instability. 7 nannies in 8 months, extended educational neglect, and now an unlicensed individual with her own history of crisis living in the home, essentially parenting these vulnerable children. Michael's attorney, Catherine, counters with the transformation narrative. The children eating again, creating art, slowly speaking. She presents photos of their mosaics, the golden cracked stepping stones, evidence of healing through creative expression. But Klein's rebuttal cuts deep. Craft projects don't erase documented negligence. Mrs. Yang offers stability, routine, and most importantly, she was Sarah Chen's mother. These children need their grandmother's steady presence, not experiments in unconventional healing. Judge Santos sets down her pen. I'd like to hear from Emma and Lucas. Michael's heart hammers. Emma grips his hand, her palms sweaty. Lucas stands first, walking to the witness stand with his shoulders back, 9 years old, trying to be brave enough for both of them. Lucas, Judge Santos says gently, why do you want to stay with your father? Because he's finally learning to see us. Lucas's voice wavers but holds. After Mom died, Dad disappeared. Not his body, his self. He watched us through cameras and doorways, like we were on TV, but Jenna taught him how to be broken and present at the same time. What about your grandmother's concerns? The instability she's documented? Lucas looks at Patricia. His voice softens. Grandma wants us to remember Mom by being quiet and perfect, but Mom laughed a lot. She was messy. Jenna helps us remember the real Mom, not just the sad parts. Thank you, Lucas. Judge Santos turns. Emma? Emma approaches on unsteady legs. Michael watches his daughter, so small, so brave, climb onto the witness stand carrying a large portfolio. Emma, would you like to speak or would you prefer to show me something? Emma opens the portfolio. The judge leans forward. Inside, every drawing from the past 6 weeks. The progression from caged hearts and scribbled darkness to images of 4 people with visible cracks filled with gold. The final drawing shows them holding hands. Michael, Emma, Lucas, and Jenna, each figure fractured but whole, golden seams catching light. This is us, Emma whispers. Before, we were broken and trying to hide it. Now we're broken and making it beautiful. Judge Santos examines each drawing carefully, her expression unreadable. Emma, your grandmother loves you very much. She wants to give you a stable home. But we have a home. Emma's voice grows stronger. It's messy, and we still cry sometimes, and Dad burns dinner. But we're learning to be a family again, a different family, one that's broken and fixed at the same time. She pulls out the final drawing, Sarah's face, smiling, watching over the 4 gold-cracked figures. We don't want to forget Mom. but Mom would want us to keep living. The courtroom is silent except for Patricia's quiet sob. 6 months later, the glass mansion has learned to breathe. Michael stands in what used to be his sterile home office, now converted into an art therapy studio. Jenna runs grief counseling groups here twice weekly, children who've lost parents, siblings, pieces of themselves. Today, 5 kids sit around tables covered in newspaper, breaking dishes together under her patient guidance. Through the window, he watches Lucas in the backyard garden, kneeling beside Emma as they plant jasmine along the fence line. Their grandmother's weekly delivery, Patricia comes every Thursday now, civil, careful, learning to share rather than possess. It's Emma's 8th birthday, the first birthday since Sarah died that feels like celebration rather than endurance. The kitchen is chaos, frosting on counters, Emma's friends from her new school shrieking with laughter as Lucas demonstrates how to pipe flower shapes onto cupcakes. Michael burns the first batch of cookies, and instead of hiding the failure, he shows the charred remains to the children. They laugh. Actually laugh. Patricia arrives at 4, bearing a wrapped gift and tentative smile. She sees Sarah's transformed vase on the mantel, her daughter's favorite ceramic piece, now broken and reformed into a mosaic bowl, gold cracks shining like starlight. Fresh jasmine sits inside, fragrant and alive. "You broke it," Patricia says, but there's no accusation now, just wonder. "We made space for more," Emma explains, taking her grandmother's hand. "We didn't erase her, we just learned to carry her differently." Patricia's eyes fill with tears. She pulls Emma into a hug that's finally about connection instead of control. The afternoon dissolves into cake and presents, and the beautiful mess of children being children. Lucas leads a game in the backyard, Emma's laughter, clear and bright, carrying through open windows. That evening, after guests leave and the house settles into comfortable disorder, Michael retrieves something from his desk drawer, the platinum wedding band he wore for 18 months, like penance. He doesn't put it on. Instead, he places it in a small, golden cracked bowl Lucas made, their family's memory vessel. Beside the ring, Jenna's hospital bracelet from Lily's final days, a photo of Sarah mid-laugh, wind-caught and joyful, Emma's first drawing from outside the playroom, the caged heart. "Things we carry," Michael explains to his watching children. "But don't let carry us." Jenna adds her daughter's favorite smooth stone, worn soft by small hands that will never hold it again. Emma places a butterfly she drew, no longer trapped behind bars but flying through golden seams. Lucas sets down a photo of them all from today, messy, laughing, imperfect, real. They stand together in the living room that's finally lived in, surrounded by evidence of healing, mosaics catching lamplight, children's artwork covering walls, muddy footprints from the garden not yet cleaned. Michael looks at his chosen family, not the perfect one he lost, but the broken, beautiful one they've become. Emma leans against Jenna's side. Lucas holds his hand. Patricia smiles from the doorway, learning to let go and stay simultaneously. Outside, jasmine blooms in the garden they planted together, Sarah's favorite flower, growing through golden cracks in their carefully mended hearts. 6 months later, morning light filters through windows that no longer feel like barriers. The glass mansion has learned to breathe, has discovered that perfection was always the enemy of home. Michael stands in what used to be his sterile office, now transformed into an art therapy studio. Jenna runs grief counseling groups here twice weekly, children who've lost parents, siblings, pieces of themselves. Today, 5 kids sit around tables covered in newspaper, breaking dishes together under her patient guidance, learning that destruction can be the first step toward beauty. Through the window, he watches Lucas in the garden, kneeling beside Emma as they plant jasmine along the fence line. Patricia's weekly delivery. She comes every Thursday now, civil, careful, learning that love means letting go of control, learning that her grandchildren can honor Sarah while also moving forward. It's Emma's 8th birthday, the first since Sarah died that feels like celebration rather than endurance. The kitchen is chaos, frosting on counters, Emma's school friends shrieking with laughter as Lucas demonstrates how to pipe flower shapes onto cupcakes. Michael burns the first batch of cookies, and instead of hiding the failure, he shows the charred remains to the children. They laugh, actually laugh. When Patricia arrives at 4, bearing a wrapped gift and tentative smile, she pauses at the mantel. Sarah's favorite vase, the ceramic piece she'd cherished, now exists as something new. Broken deliberately, reformed into a mosaic bowl, gold cracks catching light like captured starlight. Fresh jasmine sits inside, fragrant and alive. "You broke it," Patricia says, but there's wonder now instead of accusation. Emma takes her grandmother's hand. "We didn't erase her, Grandma. We just learned to carry her differently. We made space for more." Patricia's eyes fill with tears. She pulls Emma into a hug that's finally about connection instead of possession, about sharing grief instead of competing for ownership of memory. The afternoon dissolves into cake and presents and the beautiful mess of children being children. Lucas leads games in the backyard, Emma's laughter, clear and bright, carrying through open windows. Michael watches from the kitchen, no longer observing from distance but present in the chaos, frosting in his hair, surrounded by love's joyful disorder. That evening, after guests leave and the house settles into comfortable disarray, Michael retrieves something from his desk drawer. The platinum wedding band he wore like penance for 18 months. He doesn't put it on. Instead, he places it in a small golden cracked bowl Lucas made, their family's memory vessel, their altar to what they carry forward. Beside the ring, Jenna's hospital bracelet from Lily's final days. A photo of Sarah mid-laugh, wind-caught and joyful. Emma's first drawing from outside the playroom, the caged heart. A smooth stone from Lily's collection that Emma found and claimed as her own, building bridges between losses. "Things we carry," Michael explains to his watching children, "but don't let carry us." Jenna adds her daughter's favorite stone, worn soft by small hands that will never hold it again, but live on through remembering. Emma places a butterfly she drew, no longer trapped behind bars, but flying through golden seams. Lucas sets down today's photo, messy, laughing, imperfect, real. They stand together in the living room that's finally lived in, surrounded by evidence of healing, mosaics catching lamplight, children's artwork covering walls, muddy footprints from the garden not yet cleaned because life matters more than appearances. Michael looks at his chosen family, not the perfect one he lost, but the broken, beautiful one they've become. Emma leans against Jenna's side. Lucas holds his hand. Patricia smiles from the doorway, learning to stay without suffocating. Outside, jasmine blooms in the garden they planted together, Sarah's favorite flower, growing through golden cracks in their carefully mended hearts, proving that beautiful things can break and become more beautiful for having shattered.